We have officially lost our collective minds. We are currently pretending that a 5,500-pound battery rolling on disposable rubber is somehow the pinnacle of automotive evolution, while real mechanics are literally hoarding 30-year-old diesel trucks just to hold onto a shred of driving sanity. Look, I'm standing in front of the all-new 2027 Mercedes-Benz C-Class. It's fully electric, and it weighs 2.5 tons. Let that sink in for a second. 2.5 tons. You are looking at a compact executive sedan that tips the scales at the exact same weight as a heavy-duty 1990s pickup truck hauling a bed full of cinder blocks. How did we get here? How did the C-Class, a badge that used to represent the accessible entry point into razor-sharp German engineering and Autobahn-devouring stability, turn into an oversized, oversensored, overweight lithium-ion appliance? Here's the thing. Physics doesn't care about your marketing brochures. You can slap an AMG line badge on this opalite white bloated chassis all you want, but you cannot cheat the laws of thermodynamics and momentum. When you take a 5,000-plus pound object and hurl it into a corner at 60 miles per hour, all that kinetic energy has to go somewhere. And where does it go? Straight into the tires. They are masking the sheer obese mass of this vehicle with complex, hyper-aggressive traction control algorithms and massive brake rotors, but the reality is you're going to be chewing through a set of soft compound rear tires every 10 to 12,000 miles. And the environmental hypocrisy of that? The amount of microplastics and particulate matter this heavy brute will shred off its tires into the atmosphere completely negates whatever zero-emission fantasy they're trying to sell you. We traded exhaust pipes for tire dust, and we're all clapping like it's a victory. Let's talk about the numbers, because they want you to be impressed. This C404 Matic supposedly pushes out 360 kilowatts, or roughly 489 horsepower, and 800 newton meters of torque. They proudly state it'll do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, or 0 to 62 miles per hour in around 4 seconds, faster than its SUV brother. Hear me out. Who cares? Electric horsepower is the cheapest, most synthetic commodity in the modern world. Any Silicon Valley startup with a laptop and a supplier in Shenzhen can give you a 4-second 0 to 60 time now. It means absolutely nothing. When you drove a Do204 C63 with that naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8, every single horsepower felt earned. You felt the mechanical heartbeat of the machine, the vibration, the crescendo of the revs, the slight delay as the transmission downshifted, the visceral explosion of combustion. It had a soul. This is a microwave oven. You press a button and your food is hot. You press the pedal and you go fast. It's binary. It's numb. It is an appliance designed to get you from point A to point B in a sterilized, sensory-deprived vacuum. And speaking of getting from point A to point B, let's address the range. They claim 760 kilometers, which translates to about 472 miles. They also claim you can get nearly 200 miles of range back in 10 minutes of fast charging. Okay. Assuming you live in a utopian society where fast chargers are always available, never broken, and the ambient temperature is a perfect 72 degrees, sure. But throw a harsh winter at this chemistry experiment, turn on the heater, the seat warmers, and the defrost, and watch that 472-mile claim evaporate faster than water on a hot exhaust manifold. They've stretched this car on the new MMA platform. It's 13 centimeters longer than a regular C-Class, just to physically cram enough battery cells into the floorboards to make the range remotely acceptable. You aren't buying a car anymore. You're buying a rolling battery casing. Walk around to the front with me. What are we even looking at here? Since there's no internal combustion engine to cool, the traditional grille is gone. Instead, we get this flat, illuminated plastic panel plastered with little glowing stars. It feels like a Las Vegas casino marquee trying desperately to remind you that yes, this is in fact a Mercedes-Benz. And right in the middle, staring at you like a metallic pimple they couldn't figure out how to hide, is the front-facing camera. They didn't even try to integrate it into the styling. It's just slapped on there as an afterthought. Move around to the side. They ditched the one-bow design of the EQ series, which, thank God, because those looked like melted computer mice. The proportions here are a bit better, attempting to mimic a proper 3-box sedan layout, but it sits awkwardly high. It has to, because you are literally sitting on top of a chemical power plant. The 20-inch multi-spoke wheels? Yeah, they look decent. Aerodynamically optimized to squeeze out an extra 0.2 miles of range, but they just remind me of how incredibly heavy the unsprung mass is on each corner of this vehicle. Then we get to the rear. Look, I don't know who in the automotive design world decided that every single car on the road in 2026 needs to have a connected unibrow taillight wrapped in cheap black plastic, but it has to stop. It looks lazy. It robs the rear end of any distinct character. If you took the badge off this trunk lid, you'd be hard-pressed to tell if it was a Mercedes, a Hyundai, or a rental fleet special. And popping the trunk gives you 470 liters of space, plus a little 101-liter frunk up front where an engine used to live. Great. You can fit a carry-on bag in the space where decades of mechanical mastery once sat, but it's when you open the door and step inside that the true dystopian reality of modern car culture hits you right in the face. Let's start with the screens, because apparently we aren't allowed to have tactile feedback anymore. Mercedes has taken a flat, massive, uncurved piece of glass and essentially bolted it to the dashboard at a 90-degree angle. It doesn't wrap around the driver. It doesn't integrate into the sweeping lines of the interior. It's an iPad on a mount. When you are piloting a 5,000-pound missile at 80 miles per hour on the highway, you should not have to take your eyes off the road, navigate through 3 sub-menus, and tap a piece of greasy, fingerprinted glass just to turn down the air conditioning. It is objectively terrible ergonomics, but they mask it under the guise of futuristic tech. And the absolute most insulting part of this entire digital interface? They have programmed a rendering of Carl Benz into the infotainment system to greet you. Think about the audacity of that. Carl Benz, the man who literally patented the first internal combustion engine automobile in 1886, a pioneer of mechanical engineering, pistons, crankshafts, and fuel, and they have resurrected his likeness as a digital avatar inside a sterile, battery-powered iPad on wheels. It's not an homage, it's a mockery of the very foundation this company was built on. But wait, it gets better. Staring back at you from the dash is a driver-facing camera. And no, there is no physical slider to cover it up. It is constantly watching your eyes, tracking your head movements, monitoring your attention. They sell this as a safety feature. I call it surveillance. You're paying nearly $90,000 to sit in a leather-wrapped interrogation room that monitors your every twitch. When did we decide that we wanted our vehicles to treat us like we're out on parole? I will give credit where credit is due. The materials themselves are high quality. The Tartufo brown leather is soft. The stitching is intricate. And even the backs of the front seats are wrapped in leather instead of cheap plastic. The physical air vents have a solid, metallic feel to them, looking like something out of a sci-fi jet engine. The Burmester sound system is excellent, and the panoramic sunroof with illuminated, color-changing stars integrated into the glass is a neat party trick. It's heavily inspired by Rolls-Royce, sure, but it's cool. But all of this premium leather and ambient lighting is just a distraction. It's luxury veneer trying to cover up the fact that the underlying machine has no mechanical heartbeat. Mercedes has already hinted at the price. The base model will start just under $75,000, and if you spec it out with the AMG Plus package, the better wheels and all the tech, you're easily knocking on the door of $90,000. For what? In 5 years, the infotainment software will be laggy and outdated. In 10 years, the battery chemistry will degrade, and replacing that pack will cost more than the residual value of the entire car. An old W201 or W202 C-Class could be kept on the road for decades with a wrench, some oil, and basic mechanical knowledge. They were built to last a lifetime. This new electric C-Class is built with the exact same planned obsolescence as your smartphone. It is a disposable 2.5-ton piece of consumer electronics. They're asking if we will see a C63 AMG version of this electric chassis. Let me save you the suspense. Yes, we will. It will have fake synthesized V8 noises pumped through the Burmester speakers. It will weigh 6,000 pounds. It will have 1,000 horsepower, and it will be completely, utterly dead inside. The C-Class used to be a driver's car. Now it's just a heavily surveilled, overpriced battery pack wrapped in nice leather. The golden age of driving is over, and we are currently standing in the gift shop.